What you are currently looking at is the last ride I ever took on my 2017 BMW R1200 GSA adventure bike, codenamed the Stallion. Look, I know it's corny, but I could have named it Big Bertha like my KLR. I sold the bike, probably didn't get the most I could have gotten for it, but whatever. It's sold now, and it ended up being a bit more of an emotional departure than I anticipated. I have made so many adventures on this bike. I have done so much badass stuff, taking it all over the West Coast, taking it to, from, and back to Utah and California and all over the place and through Arizona, and it just was an amazing bike, and I did a lot of that stuff with my now fiance Kiwi and a bunch of luggage on the back. I've taken it off-road, I've crashed it, I've flipped it, I've made the bike somersault over me. I've seen some of the most beautiful views of my life. I went through some really hard, tumultuous, emotional times on this bike, flying through the Red Rock Loop at 1 a.m. at 120 miles an hour. Really inadvisable, but look, it was tough shit. I've broken it, I've fixed it. A lot of my transition from a boy to a man was done on this bike. So with that being said, everybody, yes, I am announcing I have officially sold the BMW R1200 GS to my mechanic buddy, who did a lot of work on the bike and replaced the clutch, etc. It has over 60,000 miles on it, and it's been beat to shit. It's abused. The windscreen bracket's broken. A piece of plastic in the front fell off. It's been battle scarred, battle hardened, and beat up, and it doesn't have a steering stabilizer because that got broken off. By the end of it, I got $9,000 for it. Mechanically, it runs great. Good bones. It's just cosmetic. Lots of damage. I wanted to get 12 to 14, but with the release of the R1300 GS, values are dropping, and already the 1250 is more desirable. And in my area, there was a lot of GSs like mine, but with less mileage, in better condition, going for like 10, 11, 12. So I ended up just letting it go for 9, which sucks, but because he's my buddy, I will still have access to the bike, and on occasion can still ride it if we're hanging out. So that's cool, and I also know it'll be going into good hands. He actually does off-road these things. He actually does take them on really incredible adventures. Oh boy, yeah, I kind of got impatient and went through some cones here. Not my best riding. It has been sad to let this machine go. It's been a few weeks now. I'm motorcyclist. I'm BikerPhilosopher, and I don't have a motorcycle. But I do have a bike. It's just not a motorcycle. Literally a BikerPhilosopher, except bicyclist philosopher, not biker. Why did I get a bicycle when I had a motorcycle, like a proper heterosexual alpha male? I don't know. There's something wrong with me. But I really like it when I hit the electric throttle assist and the seat goes straight up my ass. So now that just leaves my fiance Kiwi with her Honda Shadow, which I have still yet to take on a ride because that thing's way too small for me. But I'm motorcyclist. And until we move to Nebraska, which, by the way, we visited the small town we'll be moving to, and holy shit, it is boring as hell and is going to be a huge adjustment to big Vegas. It's got a population of like 50,000 people, and Vegas has like 3-4 million, Vegas Valley, something like that. It's boring, it's flat, there's no cool sunsets, no mountains, everything closes at 8. It's going to be a huge adjustment, but we're going to save a shitload of money and get ahead in life. How am I getting around without the GS? The Stallion. Well, we recently purchased a old Ford work van, a 2006 Ford Econoline E350. Not the full extended van, it's the shorter model. It was a former passenger van, which was turned into a work van, so the chairs have already been removed and everything, and it's got a lot of windows. It's reliable. We spent $6.5 grand, got it at 122,000 miles. We've done a bunch of work to it, and we will be using this to tow a cargo trailer, which we have yet to buy, and move all of our shit to Nebraska ourselves because U-Haul wants $6,000 to $7,000 for a truck rental, which might not fit it. So I figured, hey, fuck it, let's spend 6.5 on a super kick-ass work van, and maybe another 2 on a crappy flatbed trailer. Move everything ourselves, and it'll cost more, but we'll keep everything after, and we can sell it or enjoy the vehicle. So the van will actually be doing like very lightly kitting it out in order to do some road trips. We have a wedding in California we'll be going to and staying there for a week and sleeping inside the van. We'll be having some epic trips traveling, and I will be able to make money inside the van as we go. We're going to get a power bank in there. No, it's not going to be some like super high-end van life conversion that you see on Instagram. I really don't think it's feasible to live out of this thing long term, but who knows, if we do it and we absolutely fall in love with it, maybe we'll upgrade after we move to like a 350 cutaway bus that I can stand up inside and put a motorcycle rack on the back, something like that. Who knows what life offers, because the more I look at house pricing and how it's still going up and everyone keeps jerking themselves off about the coming crash, and they've been doing it since COVID and it's never happened. It's just getting worse. Home ownership seems farther away. I'm tired of getting raped by rent. So living in a vehicle or some sort of alternative living situation seems like a potential very good long-term play. If you're not familiar with the channel and haven't heard me say before, me and Kiwi will be going from, living on our own and roommating with my brother in an expensive apartment here in Henderson, which is part of the Las Vegas Valley. We'll be moving in with my mother and now stepfather in Nebraska because they just got a nice house and they need help fixing it up. It's actually quite an old house. It's over 100 years old, and holy shit, they built houses a lot more sturdy back then because this thing is bulletproof. I'm not worried about a drive-by. The walls, everything about it is so sturdy. It's remarkable compared to modern construction. We'll be going down there and we'll have no rent in the beginning because it needs renovations. And then when there is finally rent, it's going to be very, very inexpensive. So this will serve as a good launch pad. We're going to be training my fiance Kiwi to be a video editor like me during that time. Fixing the van up, moving in, fixing the house up. I'm going to be just making money as usual. We're going to try and get her up and running doing what I'm doing. Then once we both have remote income, we'll be free to travel. So we will do our first international trip. I don't know where. I'd love to see Thailand, Singapore, Cancun. Maybe we'll keep it easy and go to Mexico, or who knows, somewhere in Europe, some white girl trip destination. Oh my God, I want to see the Eiffel Tower. But I really want to do our first international trip, and we're probably going to be traveling in the country a lot too in the van, sleeping in it. We'll turn it into proper living quarters. We'll put a little propane kitchen in there, maybe with a gravity sink or something, so we can cook out of there. Because when it comes to living out of vehicles, the biggest thing that gets people is cost of fuel, eating out, and campground sites. Now, if we drive for 3 days straight, you can get pretty much anywhere in America by driving like 3-4 days straight. That'll be a lot of fuel. But say we drive for like a day straight, $500 in fuel. We wait for 2 weeks while making money inside the van. If we have solar and a power bank and we use public Wi-Fi or Starlink, we can do that. And we cook inside the van and only eat out on occasion. We can actually do it quite inexpensively. And because it's a van and can fit inside regular parking spaces, like it looks like a work van minus the windows, we'd probably be able to get away with sneaking it into some places and stealth camping in urban environments overnight. I'm thinking about getting 2 small folding electric scooters too, so for like urban transportation, say we could go to California, find a place to park, stay there for a week or 2, and go exploring, go to the beach on the electric scooters. That'd be nice, but I just need to figure out how like solar and power and how to hook the alternator up to a battery pack. That's gonna be complex because I don't really have any skills in that area. But I will just say, back to the GS, wow guys, I miss it a lot. Going from daily riding a motorcycle for years, and not just any motorcycle, an amazing motorcycle like the GS. I guess I had the GS for a little over a year and a half, something like that. The KLR I also rode for about a year, but the GS was fantastic. No machine like it. I just got tired of the German magic price tag. Like parts, anytime something went wrong with it, it was $900. And sure, I could baby it and use it like a gold wing, but it's a GS. Like I have this thing, I want to abuse it, I want to off-road it, but I can't. So that really just took a lot of the fun out of it for me, knowing that if anything goes wrong, or when that drive shaft eventually goes out, etc., it's going to be thousands of dollars. The smallest thing breaks, $900. Random side tangent. Holy shit, that sunset is absolutely beautiful. I just got really tired of paying that premium. And a lot of the times it wasn't like specialty parts, it's just B&W rapes you up the ass, and you can go aftermarket, etc. But for a lot of that stuff, it's hard to find and is still expensive. So I just got tired of paying that adventure bike price. I want an off-road machine that I can actually abuse and not have to worry about being financially crippled after the fact. It was an amazing machine, it was reliable, it was bulletproof, but just too expensive to upkeep. And also just way too heavy for off-road. So I'm actually curious to hear your input on anything I just mentioned previously in the video, but I'm gonna be without a motorcycle. We move early August, so till that point I'm gonna be without a bike. And it's not like we're gonna get there and I'm gonna buy a bike right away. It's a small town, there's very few bikes there, so I'd have to travel pretty far to get a bike, and that's after we move in and get established and all that. So it might be 5 to 6 months without having a motorcycle, which is just really hard to comprehend. I have a feeling I'm gonna break and like buy one really quick and inconveniently, but whatever. I'm a biker at heart, man. It's not just a way of transportation for me, it's a way of life. There's not really, my original dream bike was an Africa Twin, which I've been considering, but there's not really anywhere in Nebraska or the Midwest to ride, not only because here on the West Coast we have tons of BLM land, which you can off-road in, and it's awesome, and BLM being Bureau of Land Management, not the burn, loot, murder charity scam. Now that I've offended about 40% of the audience, let me get back to what I was saying. There's really not that much off-roading to be done there, and it's all flat. Like, it's just cornfields, farms, as far as the eye can see. Not the stunning 12 of 10 sunsets and the mountains and the lake we have close by. Not all that beauty that we have here in Vegas. It's just corn and flat ground. So it's going to be quite boring. I could buy an Africa Twin, but it is still a big, heavy, expensive adventure bike. Much more off-road capable than a GS. You don't really see lots of videos of people doing crazy shit with the GS. Like, they have all these $40,000 bikes kitted out with all this bullshit, and they like take it up a gravel road that like Kiwi's Honda Shadow could take. But however, with the Africa Twins, you do see people doing badass shit with those. They're highway viable, and they still got pretty good off-road. It is still a little heavy and inconvenient, but it's a lot more doable than a GS. They are still pretty premium. Like, now when I look at a machine, I'm like, okay, how much would it be for a new wheel? How much would it be for clutch kit and a clutch basket and fairing parts? How much of those? That's what I'm looking into now before I buy a machine, because learning, you know, how thousands and thousands of dollars of the GS and their retarded exclusive, no, what do they call it? Patented tubeless cross-spoked whatever wheels that no one knows how to work on, and they're thousands and thousands of dollars. The Africa Twin is also a premium bike, just a little down on the scale compared to the GS and a lot more serviceable. But where I'm going, I'm not really gonna have anywhere I can utilize it to the fullest, so I'm considering, should I get like a piece of crap, like old dual sport or dirt bike that'll be cheap and I can abuse it to my heart's content, but there'll be no off-roading to be had anyways, and then I can get some proper touring bike. I'm not sure. I'm open to suggestions. I also, though, don't like something super lightweight like a dirt bike where I can't, you know, go long distance with it as well. You know, seeing guys who like truck in a dirt bike and then take the dirt bike off and then off-road, that always seems silly to me. I'm like, I would rather have a vehicle badass enough that I can just take it to where I'm off-road it, and take it back. Like, it's a vehicle, not a toy, in my eyes anyways. But I'm open to what you guys think. I suspect I'll just be doing a lot of touring and probably won't be riding as much, because in Nebraska you can't ride all year round, and I now have 4 wheels for the first time in years, so I suspect maybe I'll get an old Goldwing, fix it up, or some touring bike. If you guys have any suggestions, I do like something with speed. I will admit, I like speed and protection from the wind. So if you guys have any suggestions for something a 200-pound guy like me who's 6'5" can comfortably enjoy, that's relatively simple and affordable to maintain or repair, and has some speed and power, some fun to it, and I don't know, if you think would fit me best, let me know. The type of riding I do, I tend to do lots of big adventures, and I do like off-roading, but unfortunately for the time being, that may be behind me. Thank you guys for listening to this video. I know it's been a while. It's been very busy and lots of shit going on. Lots of unfortunate and fortunate events have taken place, so I'll be making videos about that in the future. I hope you've enjoyed this wholesome imagery you've seen of the GS. A farewell cover song will be coming out soon. I was saying this totally as a joke, but now I'm actually going to do it because I said it. So, yeah. Bye-bye.